I don't know about the Untucked crown, but the American Drag Superstar crown is coming to New Jersey for the first time. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Joey Nolfi with Entertainment Weekly, and today we are talking with the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, and I've been waiting for this one. Trust me, I mean, just stunning. Look at the material. You look incredible, Ms. Luxx.
Thank you.
I love that she's like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Just say it again, say it again.
Please, please.
Now tell me a little bit about, this is just, I know we're covering the rest of the look here, but I mean, we can get a little glimpse of this little Band-Aid.
I can give some backstory into this. I was actually shopping at a Target the other day, and I hit my golf cart in the fruits, and it was a big kerfuffle. But you know, we all made it out alive, most of us.
What kind of fruit is that hard to give you that?
You know, peaches, they're rare these days.
There you have it, yes. Detailing an injury within the first 10 seconds of the interview, love it. But really, the looks though that I have seen in doing my research on you, they're just incredible. So tell me about your approach to drag and fashion and what really gets you going when you're conceiving a look.
So I don't like to necessarily be inspired by one specific thing. Like, I don't put myself in a category of a type of queen. I guess you could put me under the category of like a look queen, but like I do kind of everything. So like I don't really do like glamour or like camp or like high fashion. I kind of just like do whatever I'm inspired by, which is pretty much everything. Literally any and everything.
What do you think is like the craziest thing you've ever gotten inspired by?
I did get inspired by, cow print is like pretty big, but I was like cow print. Like in like the makeup community, people do like stuff with cow print all the time, but it was around Pride and I was like, okay, I want to do something different. And I'd never seen someone do rainbow cow print. So I was like, okay, let me mix these two mediums, and I was inspired by a rainbow cow.
Rainbow cow stunning.
Rainbow cow stunning!
Yes. I thought you said cow porn at first, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, what?
Absolutely not.
We're not going there.
Not yet, at least.
Wait till season 15 airs. Now, you have an interesting backstory because you came to drag right around, I think, it was like 2018, 2019. So you're still relatively new in your drag career. So a lot of your drag career was done throughout the pandemic in the early days. So like Mo Hart, I believe, hired you for her digital show, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So it was in like the thick of like quarantine, and everybody's like pumping out like the digital drag shows. I was like doing looks literally every day since like March 2020. Like there was not a day I was not in makeup. So I was just like posting, building my following, and then Mo Hart wanted me to do her drag show, and then I did it and it was a success. And then after that, she was like, bitch, you're kind of like, the one, like I want to adopt you. And I was like, oh my God, like of course. So like that's how we kind of met, and that's how we've built the relationship we have now, which is pretty fruitful.
So she is, not technically your drag mother, but like more like your drag mentor?
I would say she's like my adopted drag mother.
Okay.
I would say that I've never had a drag mother. I have had a person in my life who kind of guided me in my drag, not guided me, but kind of like, just showed me the ropes and like gave me like my start in the beginning. But I wouldn't consider them a mother. We were kind of like drag sisters, because we're very close in age, so I wouldn't want to call her a mother. But yeah, she kind of gave me my start, and then I was like, okay, I can do this on my own. Well, I was doing it on my own in the beginning, but like I was like, okay, I don't really need much help anymore. So then I kind of just, broke off into my own thing.
What do you think is the most impactful piece of wisdom that Mo gave you before going to season 15?
She did leave me one good piece of advice, and it was to literally just go in there and have fun, and don't be afraid to like show yourself.
Yeah.
Like be authentic, be like vulnerable. Vulnerability doesn't mean crying and like being emotional, but like be vulnerable to fully like lay yourself out there. And I think that's what I did. So I hope I made her proud.
I feel like you have no problems doing that. I feel like you just lay everything out there for sure.
Yeah! I'm not really, it's like what you see is what you get.
Now, I've seen you on stage at Bushwick recently, videos of your performances. You studied musical theater, correct?
I did.
So you do, like, live vocals are part of the Luxx experience?
No, not on stage. I have a music career. I would like to call it that.
Yes.
So I've released music, but I don't necessarily in this moment see live singing as something that I'll be doing a whole lot of. Maybe in the future, like if I want to do like a tour, but like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people don't want to, like, especially in like a nightclub, people are there to like dance and like high energy. I don't want to be like singing in like a nightclub. I don't know. That's just not my thing. I don't knock anybody who does it, but for me, it's just not. Also, like the music that like I released is like kind of impossible to do live. It's a lot of words and a lot of fast. So I don't even want to put myself through that trauma.
I love that. Sell your single. A lot of words, a lot of fast.
Yes. A lot of words, a lot of fast. That's my brand.
Yes. Yes, given the stuff that I've seen you do on stage, it is. Like, I mean, it's very high energy. It's great performance. So, God forbid, we're not going to spoil anything. If you do have to lip sync, like, what is your approach to a good lip sync?
My approach to a good lip sync is understanding the song, pacing, and kind of just having fun. And if that was to occur, I don't think that I could give it an advice to someone else. In my book, if you have to do that, I wouldn't give a performance that you would not give to that song in a nightclub.
Right.
Yes, you're on the main stage, but you should be giving a performance that you think would be sellable to a crowd of 10, 20, 500, a million, you know?
Yes.
You should just be giving a stellar performance, whatever that is for you.
So do you think in a lot of ways that queens who maybe don't succeed in lip syncs, do you think that they're making a mistake maybe sometimes of playing to the room instead of like just tapping into natural drag energy?
Yes and no. Yes, because sometimes, even like watching the show, I've just seen some queens kind of be disconnected from the room or like the audience or themselves. But sometimes the person you're lip syncing against is just better than you. So it's like, it's really like, I feel like when you lip sync against someone, it kind of is just like, you can do everything you can to show yourself, but if that person is doing a little bit more or something that goes across more, like better, it's gonna be in their hands, you know?
Yes, no, I love that. Do you think that the other girls were maybe, when you all first walked into the workroom and are getting to know each other, do you think that they were like, could sense like, okay, she's one I'm gonna be scared of to lip sync against?
I mean, if I walked in the room and saw me, I would. I mean, a lot of them kind of knew who I was. So it's like, I mean, look at the material.
Yes, 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 that you could sense that intimidation.
Yes, I actually could. I feel like, yes, just to leave it at that, yes, I could.
Short and sweet, yes, just a yes. Now, you also did Black Girl Magic with the Vixen.
I did.
What did you learn from her about navigating the world of reality TV as a Ru girl? Because she stands for a lot for her time in the spotlight.
We didn't really speak about it. So she didn't really give me any words of wisdom, but just what she's like said on the internet, the piece of advice that I've taken from it is that for someone like me, who is kind of a louder personality and an African-American person, it's always gonna kind of be harder for me to navigate the system because people are always going to see me as the angry one or the aggressor in the situation. And I am actively trying to show that like, just because like, I'm like, you know, confident in myself, or that I am portraying myself in a way that is true to myself, but if you can't take it, that's not a fault on me. You shouldn't, I shouldn't be the aggressor because you feel threatened.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Unless I'm like threatening you, then you should feel threatened. But if I'm just like being myself and saying how I feel and asserting my well-deserved dominance in a room or a situation, then I don't see why I should be seen as, you know, angry.
Absolutely.
Or mean.
Yeah. Was that for you, was that I mean, going on reality TV for the first time doing this, was that a difficult sort of avenue to navigate?
No, for me personally, because I think that what I did on the show is an adequate representation of how I would be on a camera or off a camera. You could ask anyone I know, anyone I talk to, what you're gonna see on the TV is exactly the person I am off the TV. And if people don't like that, I can't really do anything to, everybody's not gonna like everybody. So if I'm not your cup of tea, then it's just that. I'm not being mean, I'm just being myself. And if you don't like me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to like you either. Or I could like you and you don't like me. It's like, people are just like, personalities sometimes just do not click.
Yeah, you're very young, and I just feel like that is something that a lot of that feels like a very wise and like a lot of experience has to go into standing in an answer like that. So where do you think that confidence and that assuredness in yourself comes from at such a young age?
Definitely my parents. They kind of raised me to kind of in a sense know that I am good at what I do and I am worthy of being like praised for it. I was a child who grew up with a lot of talent and a lot of energy and exuberance. So my parents never wanted me to feel like that was a bad thing. They always wanted me to lean into that. And if I was like teased at school for it or whatever, they were like, it's okay because like, you know, you never want to follow the crowd. You always want to know that you are above the crowd and you are pushing the boundary. So it's like, I've kind of just carried that mantra of, they kind of raised me to believe that I was the best person walking in any room. And maybe it was a defense mechanism because they knew I was getting like bullied and stuff, to like at home be like, oh, like you're fine, like don't listen to them. But that's just something I always took with me. Like ever since I started hearing that as a child, I kind of always just walked into a room and in a way convince myself that I am worthy of being in the room. I can tell when I am better than someone at something and I'm not afraid to say it because I shouldn't be, because I should be proud of being good at things.
Right. Right. And that is a great mentality for reality TV too.
I mean, yeah, especially for a competition. It's like you don't want people to be able to like break you or like get in your head or like mess up your mojo. If you are dead set on a goal and you know you have everything it takes to reach that goal, you should never have a doubt in your mind that someone is gonna stop you from getting it, you know?
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how that dynamic plays out for you on the season.
I am too.
Yeah. You're also, I think one of the things I love about you is your pop cultural references are just so great. I mean, ever since you posted about Jade Cole on Instagram from Top Model, her CoverGirl commercial, I was like, okay, yeah, she has lightweight makeup. Yes, oh, a drag, she's a drag queen. She's a drag queen. I mean, yeah, I think, you know, I was hooked on you after I knew your taste level there. So do you think we need Jade as a guest judge on Drag Race at some point?
I think that she would bring so much like vitality and verve and like vindication to the judges panel, and I don't know if the girls would be able to take it, but I don't know. I'd love to see it.
It would turn into Jade Cole's Drag Race, honestly.
I would like to see it.
Yes,
I mean, I would live.
I would too,
I would
actually.
live.
That entire format. She's a contestant and also a judge.
I mean, she'd win, but she'd also crown herself, so it's like very, very me. I resonate with that.
Not us writing the Jade Cole narrative in this interview. So you are, it is clear though that you are then, I mean, you know your reality TV history, so would you say that you were sort of raised and inspired by reality TV in a way that made it easier for you to navigate reality TV knowing it so well?
Yes, because I kind of, in a way, knew what, like, I knew what things to kind of say or do or push in a way that would just make the overall, like, for the betterment of the program. I am someone who watches reality TV. I love it. So I kind of know it, like in my head I know it works.
Right.
And I know it wouldn't work. I know what I would want to watch. And I'm like the reality TV aficionado, you know? It's like, I know what works.
So you will, like, if you see an opportunity or a moment in Untouched, like you're gonna push it?
Yeah, to just zhuzh it up a little bit. I don't think to like start conflict, just to, you know, heighten the stakes a little bit.
Right, you're spicing it up a little bit. So just like Candy producer Muse, it is Luxx producer Noir London.
Yes, for sure.
You also did a great recreation of Wendy Williams' native New Yorker lips from The Masked Singer. I loved coming across that on your Instagram. So is that a glimpse into maybe who we'll see you do if you make it to Snatch Game?
You'll just have to wait and see.
I had to try that one. For real though, I think it's funny because a lot of people still, even though we've had people like Simone and Gigi, Aquaria, these queens who are also genuinely funny, I think there's still a misconception that fashion or look queens like aren't funny.
Yeah.
So, and that like fashion and funny doesn't go together. So do you think that you stand to break that mold too?
I do. I think that a lot of the times the fashion girls on the show are kind of seen as like, you know, one tone and monotone and kind of like all they do is like look really good. I think that I brought like a lot of personality and a lot of color into the space, not only with what I was wearing, but how I was acting and what I was doing. I just think I'm a very colorful person, so it's hard for me to not show my color. I have a right to show my color.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That lesson from your parents. Yes, you do. Absolutely. You know, with such an eye for fashion and also performance, were there certain things that you went into Drag Race thinking that you really were, like you knew you were going to succeed at certain things, and then were there other things that you surprised yourself at exceeding at?
Oh, of course. Like, I feel like any opportunity I had to showcase my personality or my skills other than looking good, I really wanted to do, because I feel like you expect me to look good. So it's like, I want to show you the unexpected. You don't expect me to, you know, excel at things besides just looking good. I feel like since I am on Instagram such like a visually, aesthetically pleasing person, it's like people don't expect there to be like a working like brain behind it. And I'm always thinking, and I'm always conceptualizing. Even if it's not even fashion, it's like I'm always just conceptualizing like what I talk, like what I say. I really think about what I say before I say it. So I don't, you know, shoot myself in the back with, you know, a tweet that I have to delete.
Oh no. I feel like that is also an interesting approach, though. I'm interested to see how you do in more comedic challenges too, because I feel like on the show we see a lot of people saying they don't succeed at the comedy challenges when they think too much and they think about what they're gonna say and they don't just live it. So do you maybe, when it comes to comedy, is that your same approach?
With comedy, I feel like it's I've been told that I'm a naturally like just humorous person. So I think if I think about the comedy too much, I feel like I shoot myself in the back because I'm overanalyzing the joke. If I'm just saying what I think is funny, people tend to think it's funny. So I don't, like, what do they say? Like, don't break a record if it's not. No.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Don't change a. You know what I'm
How
trying
many
to say.
gays does it take to?
You know, like, don't.
I know
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
How simple was that? And it was just took two of us to get there.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. So I kind of took the advice that I was getting kind of for all these years of like, you're really funny. And I'm like, what? I don't tell jokes. And they're like, no, but like, you're like funny. So I'm like, okay, let me kind of just lean into just talking. I feel like that gets the crowd going sometimes.
Yes,
so.
I can totally see that. So let's tease a little bit about season 15, because season 14, great season, but how is season 15 going to sort of up the game when it comes to Drag Race?
I definitely think that the looks are, I feel like there was several times where I was like, okay, everybody looks really good. And I feel like a lot of the times on Drag Race, that is not the case. There was several runways where I was like, okay, we all look really good. I think the looks are gonna be really fierce. I think that the personalities and the way that they all mesh and connect are going to be very interesting. And I'm there, so it's gonna be, you know, the best season of them all.
Now, I've been hearing from everybody else that there might be some contention for which city is gonna take the Untucked crown this season. I've been hearing Houston, I've been hearing Miami. Is it staying in New York/New Jersey area?
I don't know about the Untucked crown, but the American Success Superstar crown is coming to New Jersey for the first time. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Great.
Mark my words.
Look at these nails.
Mark my words.
You're also pointing with these nails. We need to show off these nails too. I mean, those are just, I mean, look at those. I mean, come on. Crown just for that. Just for that.
Literally.
So the last thing I want to ask you is, after competing, you have all this experience of competing on Drag Race season 15. What would you, if you could go back and say one thing to the Luxx that walked into that workroom on the first day, what would you say to her?
I don't think I'd give myself any notes. And I say that very confidently because I really just gave it my all. I don't know what I would have done differently. I don't know what I could have done differently, what I even should have done differently. I feel like the experience that happened was meant to happen for me, and whatever that experience may be, that's what it was. So I wouldn't give myself any notes. I don't really like to live in a lot of regret.
Yeah.
I feel like if it happened, it's in the past, just learn from it and grow from it. There's nothing I can do to change it. But given the opportunity, I probably wouldn't say anything, so.
No notes. None.
No notes.
No notes. I feel like, yeah, you've changed my life just in this 10-minute conversation. I need to adopt your mentality for everything. Truly, you have a great perspective on things.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for being here at Luxx, and stay tuned for more with the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15.
Thank you for having me. I love your necklaces.
Oh, thank you.